It's the talk of the town. So come on and listen now. It's Deano's Night Out on WRMN 1410. On WRMN, it's the talk of the town. So come on and listen now. It's Deano's Night Out on WRMN 1410.
And hello, everybody. Welcome again back to Deano's Night Out, right here, WRMN 1410, in Studio 14 live. I got a great guest in here today. We got one guest, which we know all the time, is with me, Matt. Matt is Matt McNeil, our very own Matt McNeil. And then we have Nick Mataragas. And Nick Mataragas, you say, who the heck is that guy? Well, we've had him on before. Now you recognize him. Say hello, Nick.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, couldn't be better. Matt, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Everything's good?
Doing good.
I love when things are good.
Yes.
That's what I want. So, you know what we're going to talk about today? We are going to talk about this crazy thing that they call the Fringe Fest. So the Fringe Fest, I've been educated very well in it from the last time Nick has been on. But I want everybody else to know, too, because this is something that just not any community has it. I mean, it is all around. I mean, we it started in Scotland.
Yep, Edinburgh, Scotland.
I remembered. Okay, I got one thing right, so I feel good already. So, yeah, this all started in Scotland, and it's turned into something that's unbelievable. And the fact that it's in Elgin, Illinois, not in Chicago, it's in Elgin, Illinois, that's really a cool thing. So what I'm going to do is, I just like to introduce my guests early. I'm going to also remember and talk about the sponsor of our show, the Arcada Theater, Ron Onesti from Oshos.com. He's a sponsor of Deano's Night Out. So here's what he's got going on at the Arcada tonight. Welcome back, my friends. It's called an evening with Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. And 2022, Palmer and his manager developed and launched the show initially as the Return of Emerson, Lake, and Palmer's show. Again, with the full cooperation and involvement of both the Keith Emerson and Greg Lake estates, the show has been rebranded for 2025 as an evening with Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. Great music, and if you want to catch the 8 o'clock show, they're going to be there. And it's at 105 East Main Street. And then tomorrow, they've got Michael Schenker. Hope I got it right. My Years with UFO USA Tour 2025. And he's going to have special guest Jared James Nichols. And Michael Schenker is a guitar legend, bringing his iconic UFO classic back to the stage. Jared James Michaels, you can't teach the blues. It's not something that you could find it in music, in books, or even learned on YouTube. It goes much deeper than that, and it comes from inside. So, hey, that's what's going on over there. And this is the logo, if those of you watching and playing at home, the YouTube channel, you're getting to see this year's logo for 2025 Elgin Fringe Festival. So it's really something. And if you wanted to get, is it Fringe Fest? What's the email?
Oh, you can visit our website, elginfringefestival.com.
Okay. elginfringefestival.com. I knew they kept it basic. Okay, we're going to go back to Nick. So, Nick, what's the biggest attractions for this year? I want to get right in it.
Oh, wow. Biggest attractions. That's a tough one. I don't know. There's so many amazing shows. And
Do you have a show this year?
I do. I performed last night, and I'm performing one more time tonight.
Nice.
But it's just one of many, many shows, and we have artists from all over the country: California, Minnesota, Michigan, Kentucky. I couldn't even name every state. Idaho.
Who's the hoe?
I am sometimes,
I gotcha.
sometimes, but and they're all bringing amazing shows to this festival. We opened last night to some really great houses, and I've already seen some really moving performances. And so, what's really great is that the festival has something for everybody, right? If you want something that's going to move you, there's something there for you. If you want something that's going to give you an escape, there's something there for you, right? It's just packed full of an amazing variety of performances.
Excellent. And we're going to go back to a few more pictures. This is the where it all takes place, basically, right?
Yeah, that's Fringe Central. That's the gallery at Side Street Studio Arts. So that's where people go to pick up their tickets. Look at the schedule. They can pick up a program there. Pick up
The 15 Ziegler Court.
15 Ziegler Court, right? Just right off of Spring Street. It's kind of tucked away, just past Rediscovered Records there down Spring Street.
I remember that from yesterday. I had Jennifer.
Foster's.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that girl is on fire. I mean, she is so. Oh, she's so ready to perform.
Oh, she
She
performed
was
last night. It was,
no, I know she did, but
Yeah, it was
I was on
very
the
good.
phone. We had a phone interview. That was yesterday. I filled in for Matt, and that's a hard one to fill in because Matt gets all this stuff a little bit better than I do. I'm trying to get more in tune with it, but I tell you what, I enjoyed every moment talking with her. Our time went so fast. So I got a couple things up here, and
Sure.
we'll just do some of the basics. We'll talk about you a little bit some more, but the mission. What's the mission? The mission of the Fringe Festival is to encourage bold artistic experimentation and innovation by providing an accessible, affordable experience for both artists and audiences alike. And when you hear the price to see some of these performances, what are they, like $12, some of them?
Yeah.
I've seen them.
12 is the most expensive ticket. So $12, $7, or free. And the artist gets to choose how much they're charging out of those three options.
So, and these are people, again, when you say artist, it's not the guy with the canvas and he's painting, although there is some that express themselves that way. We're talking real artists. We're talking, Michael Jackson, Prince artists. You know what I mean? Guys that are deep. The Beatles were artists. People from, they have a deep inside feeling of what they want to express, whether it be that, what do you call that stand-up poetry stuff that they do?
Like beat poetry?
Yeah, what's it? Say it again.
Or like beat poetry?
Beat?
Yeah.
Okay. I always get that one mixed up too. So beat poetry, that's where they stand up and they, make their little song or make their little presentation. Sometimes it's political, sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's pretty dark, But it's what the person feels, which is so cool about the Fringe Fest. And then here again, what is Fringe Fest? You've already answered that,
Sure.
It's, you got comedy, you got theater, there's dance involved. It's everything. And we got a picture of our guy right here.
Oh, wow.
What was that one?
You dug pretty deep for
Yeah,
those
that was
photos.
in the photos.
So that's actually from a show I did at a different Fringe festival. The show was called Halvesies, where myself and my partner that I was performing with, we each wrote half of a play.
Oh.
And then we would hand the other person that half of the play on stage for the first time.
Oh, and they have to
And then
improvise.
we'd have to act out what was happening without knowing what we were about to read. It was pretty fun.
I got to be fun.
Yeah. But that's the kind of experimentation that Fringe festivals give you, is that ability to go, okay, we're going to try something that in a normal theater or a normal performance setting, you wouldn't try, because it's like, that's ridiculous not to have rehearsed or even seen the script before being in front of the audience. That's an absurd idea. And so that's the kind of thing that at a Fringe festival people get to try out, right? Is they get to go, hey, I have this idea. It sounds absurd.
Yeah, a little
but it might
wanky
work.
right now, but
Right.
let's throw it out there and see what the people say.
Exactly. It's like just throwing things on the wall and seeing what sticks a lot of times, which is, sometimes leads to some things like, wow, what was that? But sometimes it leads to, wow, what was that? And that's what's one of the things that's great about the Fringe.
And I respect the fact that it is, like you say, innovative and everything like that. but everything has roots.
Sure.
Roots, however you want to say it. And everything is connected to something somehow, some which way. So, like when you were telling me about that half of a play, immediately what comes to mind is like Tim Conway, Carol Burnett's, Dean Martin's, those Bob Hope, any of the shows that were ever scripted, they went right to heck sometimes because once they got on a roll, they just improvised the rest of it. And, sometimes, that's, the vaudeville even. I guess you could say the vaudeville could be maybe a launching point for some of what Fringe does. Would you say that's fair?
Oh, I would say that's definitely fair. I think vaudeville was a launching point for a lot of performing arts in general, including Fringe and improv and circus acts and burlesque, and all of these things have their roots back in vaudeville, which was a time where you really harness that variety of performance, right? You'd see somebody swallowing swords, but then you'd see a beautiful singer and all of these different things all in one night. Yeah. And that is so much like what the Fringe is.
And that same, like, again, we go back to the vaudeville, as I say, vaudeville days. Mm-hmm. And that's Lucille Ball. You look at Lucille Ball, she played in a lot of movies, a lot of the old black and whites, very attractive woman, but she came up like Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis. They come up from the vaudeville days, that slapstick stuff. They knew how to, Mickey Rooney, he could tap dance. He could play the piano. Judy Garland, the same thing. All of those past actors and actresses, I guess they're all actors, whether they're male or female, right?
Sure.
You're an actor?
Yeah.
Is that it? But it's like when you look at where we came from and what it was, and I have specialty. To me, everyone's a specialist that's an actor today. One does drama, one does the comedy stuff. I like the days where it was a mixture of everything. I mean, you can go all the way back, right? But this Fringe Fest, though, what I really got into, and we tried to get our room open and ready for you guys. So next year, for sure, it'll be ready, Nick, I promise.
Great. We're looking forward to it.
And I know you came and gave it the once-over, but things happen, so what can I tell you? But it's this Fringe I like because, expressive minds, young minds, new creative, of what was, whether, because you can't keep everything the same.
No, and that's what's great too, is that diversity of voices and experiences, and you really get that. And part of the reason you get that with the Fringe is that we run our festival off of a lottery. We don't decide. We don't look at what shows are available and decide what goes up. We do a lottery, so it's completely random. So we can't be the gatekeepers of what shows are being put up or not. And that gives us that chance to have that variety of voices, that variety of styles and experiences and ideas.
And there's no bias to who's being picked.
Exactly.
100% lottery.
I mean, I'm sure there are shows this year that if I had just been given a list of shows and their descriptions, I would have said, there's no way I'm putting this show up. And that's not right, to have to do that.
Sure.
And I'm wrong a lot. I will go and see a show that I don't expect to appreciate as much as I do and then be blown away by it. And that's a magical thing that happens at Fringe festivals.
Yeah, I think that is the magic of it, because, having an idea of what you think it's going to be by either the name or even a brief description, sometimes nowhere near comes close to what it really is.
Yeah, it definitely helps throw out those preconceived notions.
How many acts do you have this year?
We have
the lottery.
35 different shows performing either once, twice, or 3 times over the course of the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is that as far as actual participants? Does that come in like maybe about...
participants, like actual performers? It's over 100 performers total, because some shows are like one person, but some shows are like 12 people.
Okay.
So it's a lot of performers in town doing this stuff. It's great.
And that's amazing. And that lottery you were telling me before, if I remember from the last time you were in, let's say whatever the lottery, I'm number 14, and now I can't make it. Mm-hmm. 14 just gets taken out, and you pick another number.
Yep, down the list.
I don't get to give 14 to Matt.
No, it doesn't transfer that way. Yeah. It's literally, I can't make it. Okay, we're going to move on to the next person on the wait list, and we just literally go down in order within the categories of the lottery and go, this is the next person. I reach out to them. If they can do the festival, they're in. If they can't, then I move on to the next name.
How much time do they, how do they know? What I'm trying to say is how much advance notice is the lottery so they know what they're going to do as far as getting themselves prepared?
Great, that's a great question. So people can apply during the month of February 1 through March 1, and then we hold the lottery in April, around mid-April, like 15th through the 20th, somewhere in there. It depends on the dates that year. And then they have from that mid-April date until September, till late September now, to get their show together. And so we really want to make sure that they have enough time. We want to make sure that if they go, you know what, this idea is not working out, I can make an adjustment and do the show this way instead. I can do that. We wait as long as we can to get like final show descriptions and final artwork from them, because that's really when the show has to be solidified, because then we have to put together the program, the website, and all that stuff. And so we wait as long into the summer as we can for people to have to give that to us, so they have that time to adjust and build their shows.
Well, that's great. So you got about 3-4 months.
Yeah.
At tops.
Which, when it comes to putting together a show, that can be like, wow, that's fast.
Really?
Yeah. If you look at like actual like big theatrical productions, they can take a long time. And we're because these are brand new shows. It's not like, and just to throw out an example, it's not like we're remaking Fiddler on the Roof, right? Which there's nothing wrong to doing a remake of Fiddler on the Roof, but at the same time, you already have a script, you have an idea of what the show is supposed to look like, supposed to sound like, supposed to feel like. When you're doing something new, just a few months can be like, wow, that's fast.
I could appreciate that, because, like, for instance, me, I'll go back to our slides, and my program crashed. I had something totally different that I was going to put up, but I knew what I wanted to show. I knew it was important to show the new logo, right? And then I wanted to show the button, and this was me and Matt. I said, Matt, give me a hand. I got to get this put together. So we put this together, I would say about 7 or 8 minutes.
Great.
Not that we're not taking you important or
No, I understand.
But I already knew what I wanted, and I kind of knew what I had. But I said, man, I got it saved. He says, no, you don't. I said, man, I got it saved. Well, I didn't. He was right. So there's the button, which is kind of cool. That's a new Fringe button for 2025.
Yep, the artist for that is Anna Lentz, who's a local artist. And
okay.
She designed our artwork this year. We do new artwork every year.
Oh, okay. And that goes along with the credential badge.
Yep.
So I thought that was neat. I figured it was important to show the 15 Ziegler Court, where all the, I guess, brain power comes from. That's where your office.
Well, the limited brain power that we have running the festival.
You still got brain power.
Some.
And I thought the mission was important to talk about.
Of course, yes.
But I knew which ones I want. But my point is, it seems like it's a lot of time.
Sure, yeah.
When you're saying, oh, no, 2-3 months goes quick. But if I'm putting on a show, especially if this is going to be the Fringe, I already, before the lottery, I'm getting excited about, man, I hope I get the lottery.
Right.
But I think I got my show postured of, we'll tweak it later, but I kind of know what I want to do.
Well, sometimes, and that's one of the cool things, too, is that it's a mix of that, right? We have people who that are on the Fringe circuit, like you mentioned, Jennifer Vosters, who was on yesterday. Her show has been on the Fringe circuit, so she's been to other festivals.
Yes.
And so she's got that show pretty well developed. Whereas sometimes you come into a Fringe festival and it's like the first time that show's happening, right?
Well, now, if I may interrupt you,
yeah,
where was the Fringe Fest before today, or this weekend in Elgin?
Where was the last one, like around the world?
Yeah.
I think, at least in the States, I think the one most recent to us was Indianapolis. But then, like North America, I think. Vancouver closed like a week ago, so that was probably the last.
Now, was she at the one in Vancouver?
I don't think so.
That's what I mean. Do they travel? Some of the fringers, I guess we'll call them, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, they'll do like a little summer tour, and so they'll apply to a bunch of festivals, and then they'll go to the ones that they get into.
Oh, and that's another thing. You don't know that you're getting in.
Exactly.
Each one is a lottery.
Yes. Well, most are. So the Elgin Fringe is part of the Canadian Association of Fringe Festivals, and part of being part of that association requires us to be a lottery or a first come first serve festival, which is something we agree with, which is why we're part of that organization. But not all U.S. festivals are part of that organization. So some do curate. Some go, this is what I want at my festival. This is what I want at my festival, and that's just kind of one of the differences between different festivals.
Okay. Because I saw her list of credentials and the shows she's put on and where she's been. I mean, are all of the entries like that? Or?
No. We usually get a handful of shows like that. But then we also have people who have never produced a show before in their life, and this is their first time to do it, and this is their first chance to do it. In fact, the first time I produced a show was here at the Elgin Fringe Festival.
Oh, really?
Before I was working for the festival, I was a producer, and it was literally the first play I ever produced was here at the Elgin Fringe Festival in 2017.
How about Mrs. Goddard? The last one she did was Lucy. Is she in this Fringe Fest?
No, she's not in this one. But we're looking forward to having her back when she's ready to do another show.
She was awesome, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
Because I did end up catching her show, the Lucy show.
Yeah.
I never saw the stewardess one, which is the one I wanted to. What was it? Something Annie or
Pan Am Betty, I think.
Pan Am Betty?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Annie Betty. It's the same thing.
Very close, yeah.
No, I mean the talent. Oh my God, that comes out of here. If you take it for what it is, each person expressing themselves. How can you not like it?
Right, and like I said at the beginning, like there's something for everyone. If you're wanting to cry, there's shows that'll make you cry. If you want to escape, we have a whole lineup of improv shows this year that are just going to make you laugh and have pure joy. I mean, there's just so much going on at so many different levels that it speaks to the entirety of the human condition, not just one specific feeling or need.
So, and we're almost to the bottom of the hour, and you're going to stick around. We got you for the whole show. And Matt is not just the eye candy for everybody. He's got a whole bunch of questions because Matt's been involved in theater for how long now, Matt?
Oh, goodness. I did theater since probably first grade.
Yeah. Did you ever consider doing a Fringe lottery?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. It would probably be something scary, maybe. Creepy, weird, probably. I don't know.
Weird I'd go for. I don't know. I'd figure that one. I kind of like the one that you were saying you did where you flip the script and you just make the other one do what you wrote and he does what you. Oh, my God. The improv has got to be the best.
Improv is very fun. I mean, that's my background is in improv. So I'm biased in that way, but I love improv, yeah.
Well, you're speaking to a born smart aleck, so when
Fair enough.
You know what I mean. So you always got to come back for what somebody's got to say.
Sure. I mean, well, that's what improv is literally. It's about reacting.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually normally pretty good. All right, so here we are. We are at the bottom of the hour, and we got Nick Mataragas with us, and he says he's going to stick around for our whole show over here. So listen, stay tuned, everybody. Don't touch your dial. We're talking about the 2025 Elgin Fringe Festival. And this is a big deal. These just don't show up anyplace. These are, and we'll talk more about that when we come back. And Matt's got a whole host of questions. So you're listening to WRMN 1410, and we are live in Studio 14 with Nick and Matt. We'll be back in a bit. Hey, we are back to Deano's Night Out, experiencing a little bit of technical difficulty, but I think we can get camera 2. Go ahead. We'll just go off of camera 2. Yeah. So we got our screen showing up over here, but camera 1, we got a little bit of a problem over there. So we're going to go to camera 2. I'd rather see those guys than me anyhow. You can see the test screen over there, which is telling me I got a problem. So I'll get Dennis and he'll fix it all. But we are back. Deano's Night Out, and we got Nick Mataragas with us. And it's great to have you in here. We've been talking about the Fringe Fest, which is right here live in downtown Elgin. And you tell us again, so the people know, how is it that Elgin gets to have the Fringe Fest?
It's well, that's a good question. It's because of the vision of a
That's two
small
if you're
group of
playing
people.
the home game. I got two good questions.
You got two.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's because of the drive of a few people who founded the festival back 12 years ago. I'm going to forget somebody, I'm sure, but Tanner Melvin, Aaron Rehberg, Amanda Harris, Sarah Manata Smith, that I can remember off the top of my head. It was their idea to bring it here. They had, I believe, performed at a couple other Fringe festivals, and were like, we need to bring this here to Elgin. A couple of those people are also founders of Side Street Studio Arts, which is the organization that runs the festival, including Aaron and Tanner, our executive directors at Side Street. And so it was part of them bringing their artistic vision to Elgin. And I've just been lucky enough to get to join the group as it happened. But it takes a lot of work. Our year-long staff, our Fringe Committee, really work very hard to put this festival together every year.
Well, I imagine you do. There's a lot of work that goes into putting these festivals together because, production work is production work. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Whether you're putting on a festival for, like we just got done with America First Responders Fest, or you're putting something like this together, you're coordinating many people to be at one spot, hopefully without any flaws.
Right. It's that old euphemism of herding cats.
Right. There you go. So, yeah, I definitely take my hat off to you for doing that. And that's great. So now will Elgin always be able to have the festival here unless they screw up or something?
I mean, I hope so. I hope we can continue to have the festival here. I think that it all comes down to, as time moves on, people still being dedicated to doing the work to put it together. It's one of those things where, just like any organization, any kind of event, people are going to move in and out of those roles. And, we just got to make sure that when those roles become open, we fill them with people that are ready to jump in and do the work as hard as the people that are leaving. And if we can, then I don't see the festival going away anytime soon.
And again, this is a global organization.
Yeah, it's a global movement. Technically, all the organizations are all their own separate entities, but we are very well interconnected. Like I said, we're part of the Canadian Association of Fringe Festivals, but we're also part of the United States Association of Fringe Festivals and a group called World Fringe. And so a lot of that is interconnectivity, and it's a lot of Fringe producers being able to, meet up with each other and see what they're doing and see how we line up with that, but also throwing different ideas at each other and just kind of learning together about what we're doing and how the world is changing and how what we do as producers can change along with the world.
I got you. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this one up here. Yeah, we did. So that logo you explained to me last time, that this is Elgin specific logo, correct?
Yep. Yes.
Because it's a Fox River Valley. You went with the Fox?
Yep. Artwork by Andrew Vo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And there's that cat you're talking about trying to herd the cats.
Yes, that is one of them.
That's slick. And what do you got, a frog underneath the drum?
Yeah, I think that's perfect for a drum is a frog, because they have a specific beat to them, so they're good at keeping a beat.
They do.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
I liked what it said there on the. Does it say "F it"?
Yeah, yeah. That's our hashtag that we use for like Instagram and stuff. Is EFFIT, EFFIT, because Elgin Fringe Festival, and then do the Fringe Festival. Yeah.
It's kind of also like it's like a whatever will be. It's like we got tons of different styles, and so F it. It's gonna be what it is.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be cool, and we're gonna float. We're gonna go along with it.
Interestingly, you said whatever it is will be. One of our slogans is "Whatever happens, happens." In fact, at the beginning of every show during the festival, we have a curtain announcement that says, turn off your phones, rate and review shows, blah blah blah. And at the end, Tanner, who does the speech, always says, "And remember, whatever happens, happens." And that's just something we live by at the Fringe.
And you know what? So many people get hung up on, oh, this didn't go right, or after the performance, oh, I forgot to say, one line or two line. But just like I was talking to Jennifer, it's a homemade show. It's your homemade act. We're our worst critic, right?
Yes, definitely.
When we perform or when we're doing something, us as well. This is, radio's different today because we've got YouTube when the camera works, right? You're on camera, so you have to be especially careful.
I combed my hair today.
Well, I noticed that, by the way. And the beard looks a little more tidy than normal, too. But yeah. So, yeah, there's a problem I got. But the idea is nobody but you knows that there's an error.
Most of the time.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just go on with your show. And just like it is, the Effit, E-F-F-I-T. Yeah, that's pretty slick. Matt, you caught that one pretty good.
That was the first thing I noticed.
You would think I would have saw the Effit. You know what I mean? Because that's me. I mean, you know. But, no, that's great. You had a few questions that you want to ask, Nick. Go ahead.
I did. Well, I wanted to kind of backtrack a little bit because I know that you had said, like we're our worst critics and things like that. And that reminded me of one of the interviews I did with Jared McLeod. Okay. And he, has built his career on honesty, heart, and hard-won grit. And he said in the interview that I did with him was that he sometimes can be a harsh critic of himself. You know, he misses a beat or a specific song lyrics or, a certain octave he chooses, which was a little different off beat. And he can be a critic of himself. But he said that as time goes by, he's learned to work on to not be such a strong critic of himself too much and to just go along with it. And I think that that's the great thing about the Fringe Festival is that it is kind of what it is, and I think it's important to recognize yourself and to build that confidence, but it's okay to not always be confident. It's okay to be a little shaky here and there too. That's what makes the show what it is.
Yeah.
Don't have to be perfect, right?
No,
Yeah.
in fact, like I said before, I'm lucky enough to have a background in improv, and that's one of the things you learn as an improviser is that you're going to make mistakes and to embrace that. In fact, you learn that audiences are not only forgiving, but they love that sign of humanity within their performers that those mistakes can happen. And obviously, also as a performer, when you make a mistake, it's a learning thing, right? You can learn from that, and sometimes those mistakes become serendipitous. They become parts of the show later on because you're like, wow, I messed up and said this instead of this, and I got a laugh, or like did the audience really just zoomed in on that, and so. Those little mishaps, those little mistakes are not necessarily things to get down on, but things to embrace and live with and go, this is part of the experience as a performer or as a producer or whatever. And even as a producer, at that producer level, things go wrong, right? I don't think there's ever been a production of anything ever where something did not go wrong at some point.
Oh, go on.
And you just got to live with it.
We're perfect all the time. What are you talking about? No,
as you're getting your camera fixed.
Yeah, right?
Perfect.
As I was just going to say, well, this is just it, right? Like right now, we're tap dancing a little bit over here just to make sure, but we got the camera on both of you, and that's the beauty of what we have here. And we got Dennis in house that's already, throwing wires around and unplugging this. So at the top of the hour, we'll fix that. But it's what you have to do. You can panic about it, or I could sit there and show the test screen and say, I don't know what's going on. Let's just keep the show going, and that's what we're doing.
Right.
But yeah, I think the improv is so important, especially with the Fringe. But now there's some that are serious that have to be dead bang on.
Oh, sure.
That's certain performances that dictate. That's the guidelines, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to keep going back to the same show, but I just watched it last night. And you had her on the radio with Jennifer Foster's. Her show has a moment where your heart literally breaks, and so like that those are those moments, right? And you want to make sure you get to those moments and build up to them the right way, and then we want them to happen in the way that the audience is going to go, wow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
yeah. She's sort of it brings you up. And then it kind of puts you in that little mellow, like, oh, really? Oh, what a shame. But then the gift is, how do you take a tragedy or something negative? Now we have to shift it. And, if it's a death, you turn it into a remembrance or a celebration of the person. But you have that somber time that you really are sad. You just lost somebody, and it's a sad moment. So now after we have this sad moment, we want to turn it back because, hey, this is a fun festival, and this is supposed to be a fun event. So you bring up something, well, he was a pain in the neck anyhow, even though, what I mean? And then you make an icebreaker, and then just like that, you get at least, hopefully, one person to laugh, and then say, yeah, well, I remember when he did this or he did that. See, now we're back to remembering somebody's life and celebrating someone's life. It wasn't always, my mother and father too included. Not every day was utopia, but 99.9% of my days, I had a beautiful life growing up. But there were those times that didn't go so well. So you're able to, boom, shift it up to something, that could really be, important.
Well, and I think that's a good point. And I think a lot of shows that I've seen over the years at the Fringe, it's about that this is what happened. This is the adversity that I've gone through in life. And it's made me who I am now. It made me a stronger person. It made me a better person, or it's made me understand who I am as a human being better, or anything like that. And so I think that's one of the beautiful things about a lot of the more personal shows is that it's about that journey. It's not just about, this horrible thing that happened or these struggles that I've had or whatever. It's about, and that's how I got here.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing to see.
Well, sure it is. It's showing how, like you just said, how the journey made you stronger, made you wiser, and was able to get you to get back, pull up your bootstraps, as they say, and let's hit it, right?
Yeah. And I rarely wear boots.
Do you? Well, that you don't never have to worry about the bootstraps.
No.
So you never have a bad day.
That's right.
You're always up.
Flip-flops and you don't have a bad day. That's how it works.
That's the way it is. So let's talk about, we'll take this to the top of the hour, I think. Today is Friday, of course, the 26th. And already at 4 o'clock, you're going to start and you're going to have the gallery opening. The Fringe Central and gallery opening.
Yep.
And that's right at the main building?
Yes, that's at 15 Ziegler Court. You can come in, check out the art of the Fringe show, buy tickets, buy buttons, T-shirts, whatever you want. Ask questions about the shows. The staff at Fringe Central all are very knowledgeable about what's happening tonight and all weekend. So, yeah.
Is there
please
like
feel
a
free to
pass
stop
you
in.
can get for the whole weekend?
There is. We do sell festival passes. They are, I believe, if I'm getting this correct, $95, which
That's
is
not bad at all.
It's a great deal if you're going to see a bunch of shows. In fact, we have one couple for sure that is planning on making a show every time slot during the festival, which is a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So then at 6 o'clock, we have Gender Reveal Party, which is a dance concert. And that's Dance Uprising is the name of the performer.
Yep. And they're at the Elgin Art Showcase, and they're a returning group. They came to us for the first time last year and did a show that was really interesting and innovative, really different things with movement. And so I'm really excited to see that show. I'm planning on seeing that one, I hope. We'll see. I try to see as many as I can.
Involved in that one?
Yeah, it's a good sized group. It's like 7 or 8 dancers.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
And then Percolate, which is done by Creative Motions, and it's in the green room.
Yep, at the showcase as well, which is on the 8th floor of the Elgin Public Building, I think it's called. I can't remember the name of the building.
Showcase building.
Yeah, that's where the showcase is. The 8th floor. Percolate, interestingly enough, was here in 2023, I believe, and they did it as a 20-minute show. And it's literally Julie, who's the dancer that runs the show, dancing to a mic'd up coffee percolator. So as the coffee percolates and speeds up, her dancing speeds up, and so it's really interesting. And so she's bringing that back as a full length show this year.
One person show.
Yes, and we have an award named after that show as well. Our Fringe Innovation Award that we give out every year is named the Percolator because she was the first person to win that award with that show.
Plus, it sounds like she left quite an impact.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal person.
Good. And then we're going to go to the Pheasant Story, and it's Meat Man Chronicles.
Yep. I have not met him quite yet. I'm looking forward to meeting the Meat Man. He seems like a very interesting character. He's got a mohawk, and he's apparently has a lot of pheasants. He raises a lot of pheasants, from what I hear.
Gotcha. And then Trust Exercises. Now, if you were reading along with me, it's spelled 2 ways. So it's kind of a twist on exorcist and exercise.
Yep.
Oh, I interviewed him. It's Phil Gonzalez. I interviewed him. And the interesting thing about this show is it's kind of like he has 2 different scripts and he's not really going to know exactly which way it's going to go, but the message is still going to be there. So it's going to be an interesting show for sure.
Neat. So again, depending on how things go, he's going to make a change. We're back to that improv stuff.
He has a wheel that he spins, and so he doesn't know what he's going to talk about until the wheel stops. And
that's slick.
Stops on a story, yeah.
I like that.
That's cool.
Okay. Then 7:30, we have Hall Pass, which is the Hall Pass Improv. It sounds like it's a Just one man band?
No, Hall Pass is an improv group, so there's going to be like 6 of them probably performing improv. I believe they're going to be doing long form improv at Habitat for Humanity, which is just down the street on Grove, right by the Jimmy John's. And so it's one of our great improv groups that we've got here, and they're fairly local.
And then how to get an appointment by telephone is the Gay Innocent Heartless Theater.
Yes,
And that's a showcase.
This show is very interesting looking. I saw their tech rehearsal a little bit, so they're kind of a fusion of straight up theater combined with like these audio recordings that cause them to stop and kind of still frame into these interesting vignettes.
Okay.
So I'm very curious to see the full show because it just seems very creative and different.
That does sound kind of unique, right?
Yeah.
Well, again, that's what this is. You want to show your uniqueness.
Mm-hmm.
So we got La Triana. I don't know what the heck that is.
I'm not sure.
La Triana.
Oh, La Tirania El Cid.
El Cid.
Yes,
right.
I'm sorry, my Spanish is terrible. Yeah, it's a Spanish punk group.
Yeah, punk and roll nostalgia.
Right, playing at the Martini Room.
Okay.
Yeah,
That should be a good show.
yeah, it should be a great show.
Songs Without Words.
Mm-hmm. The Jennifer Foster Show, which we've talked about quite a bit already, which is about the Mendelsohn siblings.
And that's going to be at the theater, SSSA Theater.
Right, which is right upstairs from Fringe Central at Side Street Studio Arts.
Oh, okay. And then we have a short
Showcase, eh?
Thank you very
Yep,
much.
no problem.
And that's a PG-13 show at the Backspace.
Yep, which is also at Side Street Studio Arts upstairs. That is 3 shows. They're 20-minute shows. You get all 3 for the price of 1 ticket. You've got Cutthroat Improv doing an improv show. You've got Creature Feature, which is a spoof on like an old Hollywood.
Flash Players.
Yeah, from Slapdash Players. Yeah,
Okay.
it's an old timey like monster movie, but comedy.
Nice.
And then Plucky Rosenthal doing Vintage Tunes Modern Gal, I believe is the name of her show, and it's a comedy music show.
Man, you got these down. I know you're the boss over there, but you got these down pretty good, man.
I do my best to remember everything.
Great job. And then we've got Short Showcase B, another PG-13. You got 3 groups there.
Yep.
Amazing Adventures of 2 Newbies.
2 NBs.
2 NBs.
Yep, and they're doing some circus and performance with that.
Okay.
And then that's also, like I said, a showcase. So that's 3 shows for 1. So you have them, and then you have Mike Chernoff doing his spoken word poetry, which is kind of like what you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
And then Jeff doing the music at the end.
Different
every time. And he's got a whole wild setup. He's got like keyboard, guitar. It's almost like a one-man band, but without the whole get-up.
All the stuff on.
Yeah.
The cymbals in between.
Yeah,
the legs.
he doesn't have like a drum on his back or anything.
Okay. And then we have 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Appalachian Songcatcher by Hannah Sage
From.
from.
Yeah, and she actually is getting in town today, so I haven't actually gotten to meet her yet. But it's about using music to tell your story about your life and stuff like that. And she's from Appalachia, so it's going to be really interesting and kind of guessing kind of
Maybe
homey.
a little twangy.
Yeah, in a very like country way. Yeah. Not like deep South twang, but like Appalachian twang.
I got you.
Yeah.
Bubbles and Boxes. That's Molly Surowitz.
And that's her doing a one person-ish show because her son shows up at the end of the show, I believe. But talking about her and her sons and their life and how and their perspectives on that. And I think she was on the radio at one point.
She was it was the first one I interviewed.
Yeah.
Late night morning show.
Yep, that one's an improv show. That's the idea is that it is a morning news show that is so bad that they record it the night before. And so they do an improv show based around the different structures of a morning news show. There's a weather segment, sports segment, anchors, all that.
This is kind of neat. I'm making all kinds of faces at Matt and Nick over here, so I'm trying to make them laugh. And they're doing a good job. Pajama Stories for Adults, which is Marie Cooney Stories.
Yes. This is another one. It's a little bit like Trust Exercises, and you don't know what you're going to get storytelling-wise. She's got a bunch of different pajamas, I guess, and then like story titles that she has on a wall, and she has the audience pick one, and whatever they pick, she tells a story associated with that thing.
Nice.
And so it's a great show in that sense.
Okay, and then we got Spectra
Yep.
in the Martini Room.
Yep, Spectra's another band playing in the Martini Room. It's going to be a great show.
And then is it Timmy Wimmy?
Timey-wimey stuff.
Timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah.
Midlife crisis of time, traveling space, archaeologist.
Yeah, from Victoria Montalbano, who did the Fringe 3 or 4 years ago with her show based off of.
She was on yesterday.
She was on yesterday. Okay.
Yeah, they had Dennis did the interview.
Yeah, and she takes like nerd culture. Like this one's in reference with Doctor Who. Her original show was.
Who?
Yes, exactly, Doctor Who.
Gotcha. All right, that's that thing. Victoria Montalbano. Dennis couldn't say Montalbano. So I was trying to tell him it's like Ricardo Montalban, but just add a little bit some more. You remember Ricardo Montalban?
Yeah, he was
The movie, The Plane?
the man with the golden gun.
It could be that too.
Yeah.
All right, great. Listen, this is a great show. We got Nick over here, and Nick is just taking us all the way down. He knows every one of these acts, as he should. He's the guy in charge. So it's Nick Mataragas. We got Matt McNeil in here. We're going to hopefully fix our camera. But you know what? We don't need a camera. As long as you see those two guys, that's the important part. So stay with us. WRMN 1410, right here in Studio 14, and we'll catch you in just a bit.